Good morning, good afternoon, and or evening, and welcome back to the Den. Now, first off, I do want to start off by apologizing for this video being later than usual. I tweaked my back earlier in the week, and it's created some issues. And speaking of hurting backs, today we are doing a bit of a different Marvel Rivals video. We are doing a Vanguard tier list. Now, this tier list is my favorite Vanguards to play. We're going to be ranking them from S to D, with S being the green, A being a little bit of a lighter green, B being yellow, C being orange, and D being red. Now, this is not taking into account like who's meta and like who's gotten buffs and nerfs and whatnot. This is basically my experience of playing these characters from Season 0 up to the current season of 2.5. So, let's get into it here. And we do have a bit of a shorter list at this point. We only have 10 Vanguards that we're going to be ranking here today. Now, I might do another one of these for Vanguards if, say, we get like another 5 Vanguards in, so like, we get 50% more Vanguards down the line, you might see another tier list. And I'm also planning on doing one for the DPS, or for the duelists and the strategists once I've played with all those characters. Now, let's start off with Captain America. Now, I like to rag on Cap just as a superhero, but he's actually really good as a tank. He's highly mobile, he's like a good dive tank, so he's a bit more of a survivable diver. Say if you like dive and duelist, Cap can do very much of the same things, but he's a bit more survivable. I like his jump, I like his ability to slam down, I like his ability to do the little shield dash. All of those can be used to get in and out of combat. Where I struggle with Cap is usually being able to take out multiple people when I go to dive in. But I do like how he's highly mobile and he is survivable. So for Cap, starting out, I've played a few games with him. I've had some bad games. I've had like one really good game with Cap. I do like playing Cap, but I guess because I haven't quite figured Cap out, I'm not the best with Cap, right? But personally, for Cap, I'm going to start out putting him as a B. I like playing as him. I find him fun. I like his mobility, but I find it difficult to be good with him. And that just may be because I'm a dirty casual, right? But we're going to put Cap into B. Now, let's go to a tank that I've played a lot of. He was actually the first tank I played, and I enjoyed him in Season 0. I enjoyed him in Season 1. Haven't played a lot with him in Season 2, but this is Doctor Strange. Now, with Strange, he was really powerful and really, like I don't know, his ranged attacks seem to do a big chunk of damage back in Season 0, and they seem to do less so now. His shield is probably, actually I think it's the biggest shield that you can put out at a whim, and you can just pop it up and down as you need. Might need to let it recharge. You've got a good chunk of health. You can survive a little bit without the shield if you've got supports healing you. Strange is a defensive beast, and he is, well, I wouldn't exactly call him a pusher tank, but he can push simply from how wide of an area that he can block. He can allow his team to kind of coalesce behind him and get on the objective together. He's also got the portals. I'm not the greatest with the portals. I've gotten a few good plays off. Not a whole lot of good plays with it. I mostly seem to kind of just help my team get from spawn to the OBJ a little bit quicker with it. But I, overall, am going to put Strange at an A. I really like playing as Strange. I wish he was a little bit faster, maybe not necessarily like as fast as Cap, but I wish he was a little bit faster. Otherwise, being able to levitate, his big shield, his finisher where he can dispel the dark energy, his melee little whip, I like it all. Doctor Strange is a good solid A, and I'm going to put him above Cap, who's at a B. Again, not that I really dislike Cap, but well, the better you are with a character, the more fun it is to play with them, right? So let's get on to another tank that I really found fun and I really like to play as, and that is the Thing. You might have seen my 6 Thing Death Ball video that did pretty good on the channel. outside of that kind of stuff, I like the mobility of Ben. I like his haymaker. I can just basically use that as my primary attack. The right click on mouse and keyboard, his power attack. I really like being able to use that. I like his ultimate. I can pop it, get back into doing other things. I'm able to absorb a lot of hits, but of course, like most tanks, you got to have some supports if you're going to truly survive everything. I do like his team up, being able to kind of get some extra health, a little bit of healing over time, helps him to be a little bit more survivable. All in all together, well, I think about the worst thing I don't like about Ben is how difficult it is to control his little sprint charge, but I don't think you're really and truthfully supposed to use it for long distances, right? It's still fun being able to knock people up. It's really good being able to play as the Thing. I find that when people see you as the Thing, though, if your supports are not on you, people are going to focus you and take you out quick because of how dangerous he can be. Now, he does have a lot of mobility for a bigger, slower tank, not quite as much as Cap. I'm also going to be putting him here in the B tier along with Cap, right? Nothing super great, nothing super bad. But, well, actually, let me think here. Yeah, because without his team up, yeah, his team up is really powerful for him, and without that, and I don't know, Cap has higher mobility, so he is a bit more survivable for me. I'm actually going to move old Ben down to a C tier here. It's not that I dislike playing Ben, but yeah, we're going to settle at C. Now let's move on to the Goon Mommy, Emma Frost. Now Emma got her diamond form. I hear that it's very powerful. I don't ever seem to really be able to do much with it. The distance to a wall, you got to be pretty close if you're going to do the roundhouse kick, but if you are and you can get that extra damage, boy does it hurt. Her ultimate is really powerful and really strong, although I feel that a lot of times once you pop it, enemies are able to scatter pretty quickly, so if you're not able to catch them in kind of a confined space or off guard, a lot of times it can do some damage but not get the full effect of everything, right? Her ult does have the ability to block other ults. I'm not sure if it has the ability to cancel. I've tried canceling, maybe I've pulled it off wrong, but I have been able to stop people from pulling off ults when I can tell, okay, the enemy's about to pop out like some support ults, boom, I can pop my ult. It prevents them from being able to pop it out for a few seconds or entirely, and that allows my team to get in on some pretty good pushes. I like her ability to what I call draw the soul out of an opponent and deal extra damage that way. That's powerful. I like how her telekinetic blast deals more damage over time. But I don't know. A lot of her comes from her diamond form, and that's something that I guess I just haven't figured out or can't seem to utilize to great effect. A lot of times when I play as Emma Frost, I feel like I have difficulty dealing with range, even if I pop out her shield, which I love. Hers is like the only shield that you can just like set it out at the exact range that you want it. You can block as small or big of an area as you want, depending on how far it is, away from you. But all in all, Emma's another one I'm going to put in C. She's not a bad character. But again, when you're better with a character, it's more fun to play as them. And with Emma, I feel like the learning curve is steeper than with a lot of other tanks. That's not a bad thing. That ups the top ceiling of her upper limits of play. But I guess for a dirty casual, it makes the learning experience a bit more tough. She's a good character. She can be a powerful character. But I think she might be better in someone else's hands, if that makes any sense. She's cool. She's got some great skins, but I'm going to be putting her in the C tier. She's powerful. It's Emma Frost. I mean, she's one of the top tier, she's one of the top tiers of power levels in Marvel Comics, but I'm going to be putting her in at a C. I guess that's because this dirty casual ain't so good with her. But let's move on to someone that I am a little bit better with. we're going to pick out Groot. I've played a few games with Groot, and I want to say I've played 3 games with Groot, and 2 of those have been MVPs. It might be I've played 2 games with Groot, and both have been MVPs. He's powerful. I like his walls. I like being able to rotate them and change their positioning. I like his ultimate, being able to draw people in. His little punch spike with his arm. That thing has some range. Like a lot more range than I thought it would. And you can, especially if flyers are not keeping their distance, you can pick some flyers out the air pretty quick. Really powerful. He's really fun. He's got a big health pool, and he can even use his walls to lash out vines to hit his opponents if he's close to them and his opponents are close. I've been able to pull that off like once, and it helped me kill my opponent, right? They were trying to use my walls to hide from me and for my team get in, use them for, blocking as well, and I was able to use the thrashing vines to finish him off. The weakest point I have is the extra health, the bonus health wall. I can't ever seem to really use that to great effect with Groot. But so far, really high MVP rate with him. He's really fun to play as. He's really slow. I do like how, Jeff or Rocket can pop up on my shoulder. At the same time, as a dirty casual, that makes me nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, if I screw up, I'm going to get 2 of us killed, right? Just an extra layer of danger. But he's another one I'm going to throw in the A tier. I like playing as him. I've played as him with a few games, or played with a few games. Played a few games with him. He's really fun. I'm going to be playing with him more, definitely. There's not a whole lot I dislike about him, but he's not my favorite tank to play as. So we're going to be putting him in the A tier. Now, another one that I'm going to be putting in the B tier is going to be Thor. Thor, I like being able to push in with him. He's like a big, slow bruiser. I've got some range with being able to throw the hammer, being able to spin up and do the dash, and I can knock back my opponents a little bit with it. That's fun, especially if you can, get a good angle with it or hit a flyer with it. The thing I find the weakest about Thor is his ultimate. Playing with him, playing against him, you either get taken out really quick in his ult, or everyone's able to scatter, and you might get 1, you might get 2. A lot of times you just get 1, if 1 at all. I guess that's this dirty casual's lack of skill in using his ult, but I've been able to even get like a quad kill with it before. So I've been able to pull off and get good kills with it, get a quad. I regularly get kills with it, like 1, maybe 2, but it's the going up into the air, depending on where you're at. There's a lot of variables that can get in the way, depending on how many halls or other, ways opponents can get around to, I don't know. I do like being able to go in, pop out, get some Thor force, and whoosh, whoosh with the regular attacks on the hammer. That's fun. That's good. It's like a little boomerang, and it hits him twice. It can do a lot of damage. But his speed really does limit him in that regard. His range kind of makes up for it, but ultimately I'm going to put him in the B tier because, if his ult was a bit more, regularly and easily effective, not quite so easily able to be dodged away from entirely, I'd be putting him up in the A tier. But we're going to be putting him down in the B tier for that reason. No, we only got 4 left. We've got Hulk, Magneto, Penny, and Venom. Let's go with Venom next. Venom is one I've played a few games with. He's the last tank I've played with and the most recent. I was nervous about playing with him because of his web swinging, and it did prove a little weird at first, but I got the hang of it by, the end of the first game, and then after playing some more games with him, the thing I find most difficult is his dive. Being able to slam down, I feel sometimes like the angle's a bit off from where I'm aiming, or at least it's where it's saying I'm gonna land and I actually land. That could be due to height, speed. Maybe I was coming off of the swing at a weird angle. That's about the thing I have the most difficulty with on Venom, and that's because I just have difficulty aiming it. His ultimate is powerful, being able to get health back to, being able to pull off his E ability and just get health back based upon damage and how low his health is. You're able to stay highly mobile with the web swing. You got a kind of a wall run crawl thing, so you can be a really good harasser, right? Harassing tanks, those are the ones I'm a bit worst with, right? When I think of a tank, I think of someone who's like a bastion, pushes a hole, stands on the objective, is just basically this massive damage sponge. And Venom can definitely be that, especially in skilled hands. I've been able to get some pretty high pools of health with them. Nothing ultimately uber game changing, but it's the combining of his abilities and pulling them off in the right order that has made learning Venom a bit weird. He's really fun. Like, he's probably the, well, it's gonna sound weird, he's probably the most fun I've had learning a tank, right? He's wild, he's wacky, he's crazy. You can pull off some good strong moves. If you can get in on the back line, deal some damage, take some damage, consume your health, keep going on him, whoosh, lash until you keep pecking away at him. You can take out some backline peeps really quickly with Venom. It's really fun. But ultimately, I'm going to be putting him down in the C tier. And even though I've had like a good game with him, my good as a dirty casual with him has been going positive. I haven't had any really game affecting plays with Venom. Being able to figure out my best positioning and when I should be, diving in and then using a combination of my abilities, or when I should just be kind of swinging around, pecking away, harassing a little bit, acting as a fly on the wall. It's probably been the most difficult kind of loop to learn for a tank, and I still don't have him down all the way, but he's been really fun to learn and play as. I'm actually kind of looking forward to Spider-Man's web swinging now after playing Venom, but we're going to be putting him down in the C tier. Ultimately, I'm not that great with him. He is fun, but it's a lot more fun when you're good with a character, right? And speaking of good with a character, let's hop on over to Hulk. Hulk, my boy, the Green Scar. First game I had with him wasn't terribly great, but every game I've had since has been pretty darn good, and the more I play with him, the better I get. Ultimately, the thing I find the most difficult with Hulk is timing when I should pop his changes, right? Because you can pop his ult when you're really low on health. It's just regular Hulk, and then you can basically save yourself and get all your health back. If you're sitting there fighting his banner and, hey, I've got the ability to Hulk out, but the enemy team's pressing in, I can sit here, deal some damage, throw out some attacks, take a little bit of damage, and then Hulk out and basically get a whole nother health pool. That's been the thing I've struggled with the most with Hulk, is figuring out when is best to do that. Outside of that, Hulk is fun to play as, Hulk is powerful, Hulk has had some good team-ups, he's got a good round set of abilities. He doesn't really lean too much into damage, like he doesn't really lean too much into Bruiser, he doesn't really lean too much into Bastion, he kind of has a mixture of both, and I like that flexibility. He's not my most favorite, and that's because I have to deal with the changing, right? Well, not deal with, but that's because I haven't mastered the changing. If I knew when was the best time to do his changes to save his health pool and maximize his abilities that way, maximize his survivability, I should actually say that way, he would be in an S tier. And I really kind of want to shift up and put him in an S tier, which I've already flip-flopped once. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I love Hulk's flexibility. That's one of my favorite things about Hulk. At least as a tank, I feel like I can absorb some shots, I can get in the way of some supports, or kind of stand in the way of my opponents and absorb some attacks. I have the shield that I can put up that helps me build up my super energy more quickly. I've got the ability to stun. I've got a ranged attack. Granted, I wish you could do the stun ranged attack. I wish I could do that, especially the ranged attack. Like, how can you not do that more often? Like, he should get like 2 or 3 of those before he goes on a recharge. But anyways, I digress. He can do a little bit of everything, and I like that about Hulk. And when you go into pissed off Rage Hulk, people get scared, and it's kind of fun to watch the puny humans scramble. Anyways, I love the Green Scar. I'm going to go ahead and flip-flop because I flip-flopped on the thing and put him down in C tier. I'm going to flip-flop and put the Hulk in S tier. It doesn't hurt to have more than one favorite. Penny. Penny I'm going to put in the B tier. I like Penny's abilities. I like how I can just basically spam AA turret, just hold down that button and keep shooting. I don't have to wait. I don't have an ammo count. I like being able to throw it, interrupt it, and throw out the mines. I like being able to web people really often. I like how I have like basically the web pull, not really a web swing, but a web pull that can get me out of danger. I like how it can go up the walls. I don't like how slow I am, but you know, the infinite range shots make up for that. The webs do help make up for that. I like her ultimate. The thing I struggle the most with Penny is knowing what to do in her ultimate. Throw out mines, of course, but oh hey, I'm coming up on this person. Should I throw them up or should I throw down like a mine? You know, what's gonna be the best here? Should I just kind of do whatever? Does it really matter? You know I'm just basically creating a big area of healing for myself for a little while once I come out of my ult, but I guess maximizing her ult is what I struggle with the most. She's fun. Again, I like the infinite AA turret. Ultimately, I'm going to put her in the B tier list though, because her speed gets to me. I don't know, I feel like I struggle to get into position even with the web pull, which I feel like I should be more kind of holding on to save myself from danger. I've even been able to like web pull up on a wall and get in the way of an Iron Man ult and block. Of course I die, right? But I block the shot and my team doesn't die, right? I go down, but my team stays up. So I've even been able to do some stuff like that, and I really feel like I have to kind of crutch and save her little web pull for instances like that, and that makes getting around as her, at least to me, and of course this may just be because I'm a dirty casual, it makes it really tough, and it makes being able to get in various positions and kind of move around like I can with a lot of the other tanks, it makes it more difficult. Again, the whole infinite ammo compensates, but I'm going to put her down in the B tier list because I don't really know how to maximize her ult, and so that leads me to have, I guess, weaker ult plays, and her slowness makes me feel like I can't reposition all that quickly and well. And of course, I still like Penny though. I don't know. I didn't really think I would like Penny. So, oh, she's another spider character. But after playing as her, she's actually shaped up to be pretty cool. And of course, you know, like Iron Man, because you know, he's a metal mech suit wearing kind of guy. So of course, I gotta like the spider person that wears the mech suit. But let's get to the last one, and this is gonna be an S tier. I don't have a D tier. There is not like a tank that I'm like, I'm not gonna play as them. I'm gonna avoid them. I hate playing as them. Bleh. Like, I'm not a big fan of Emma Frost, not a big fan of the Goon Mommy from the comics. You don't try to replace my girl Jean, right? You know, and Cyclops, you need to be a bit more loyal, you know. But you know, Wolverine's got to put the smack down sometimes. But anyways, you know, she's a powerful character in Marvel Rivals. But anyways, back to the last hero we have here. We have the S tier Magneto. Now with Magneto, I really love Magneto. I feel like offensively, I can do really well. About the thing that gets the most to me, thing I feel is the weakest about him, is the range on his standard attack. It does have an area of effect though, so it does allow you to hit people around corners. I've been able to get good at doing that, especially being able to throw out an attack and then throw out the combo of my metal disc there, do some massive damage to people. I can finish people off. I like how I can put one of my shields on myself, or I can put it on another character. That leads a lot of flexibility, especially if it's like, okay, they're pushing in, I really need this support person to survive, let me shield them. I've got another shield that I can pop out. This shield I can even hop up and like block ultimates with it. I can block a Scarlet Witch, I can block an Iron Man. It's great. I love it. I wish I could, I don't know, pop that shield off a little more often sometimes, but that's probably just from panic using it a little bit, right, as a dirty casual. Again, the weakest thing I find with Magneto is his standard attack, the lack of a lengthy range on it, but again, it does kind of make up for it with the ability to hit in an area of effect. His ultimate is good. I can use his ultimate defensively. I can use his ultimate offensively. I can even take out supports in their ults if other people are focusing them too. It's powerful. I like him. I like the big sword. I really miss the team up with Scarlet Witch, but we do have to kind of keep balancing the game as new heroes come in and out. And that is my tier list of all of the Vanguards in Marvel Rivals. Again, these are the ones that I like to play, the ones that I feel that I am not necessarily the best at, but of course, being better with a hero does make them more fun to play. But we have in the S tier, Hulk and Magneto. They're my favorite 2 tanks to play. I feel that they have the most flexibility, and well, they can kind of fit a variety of roles. Magneto can push up, he can also stand there like a wall. Hulk can do both as well. Hulk is he can push up a bit better. Magneto has the same weakness that Strange has, melee attacks get behind their shield, but he's still really powerful. Depending on whether I'm feeling frisky and I'm kind of wanting to romp and just push up on the enemy, just kind of almost zerg at him, you're going to probably see me playing Hulk. Otherwise, if I'm like, we need to win this, you're probably going to see me play Magneto because, again, to me, they're the 2 most flexible tanks. They got a little bit of everything in their kit. Down here in the A tier, we have Groot and Strange. I like them for many of the same reasons that I like Hulk and Magneto. They're a bit more stand your ground kind of tanks, though. You can do a little bit of pushing and a little bit of aggression, but they're more stand your ground tanks. And that's what I typically think of with a tank. B tier, we got Cap, Thor, and Penny. These are heroes that I find powerful and that I can be good with and I can make good plays with, but there's something about them that just, I don't know, prevents me from, I guess, maximizing that character's potential. With Penny, it's her ult and mobility. With Thor, it's his mobility and, again, his ult. Their other abilities hold up pretty well for me. With Cap, it's my lack of ability to I don't know, I feel like it's Cap. He should be hitting like a Mack truck, and I don't really feel like Cap hits like he should. That makes it tougher to finish people off, right? Especially when you're diving into that back line. Then we've got Ben Grimm, the Thing. We've got Goon Mommy Emma Frost, and the booty butt shaking symbiote Venom down here in the C tier. I find these characters fun. I can tell that they are powerful. They're just not powerful in my hands. And of course, when you're better with a character, things are more fun. Got some great moments with each of these Vanguards. I've had a lot of fun playing as them. It's been absolutely wonderful going through the Dirty Casual series to play with every single hero, and now I've played with every single tank. You're going to see me keep playing with these, a variety of them, as we continue to play with the community and continue to play on Saturday mornings for some Marvel Rivals fun with superheroes. Now, probably what you're going to see me do, though, is you're probably going to see me focus more on team-ups when I'm picking a tank, right? Oh, hey, well, this person's in here, and let me do this so we can activate this team-up. And I really like that. I was kind of nervous, trying to save heroes for playing for the Dirty Casual series. Didn't want to spoil them. But now that I can play as them all, now that I have played as them all, it's going to be fun just kind of picking whoever, getting good with whoever, and having fun with whoever. Now, I do want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for some of your watch time. Thank you very much for all the support. Please leave your comments down below with some of, like, who's your S tier characters? Like, who are your favorite 2 tanks to play with? Do you have more than one tank that's your favorite to play with? What do you think of my list? Leave me those comments in the comment section down below. While you're down there, hit the like button, hit the sub button so you don't miss the streams and more Marvel Rivals content. Because I tweaked my back, I'm actually going to be doing an upload tomorrow. This was basically what I'd planned to do Monday, but it didn't happen. I never actually posted up my very first game with Hawkeye. It's something I skipped over to kind of catch up with the seasons and catch up with content. But because I had a really good game, I finally had a good redemption game with Hawkeye. I'm going to be posting up that redemption game and my first game. So kind of a double feature. That'll be posted up tomorrow. Again, that's because I wasn't able to get it up. That's because I wasn't able to get the video posted up for Monday. Tweak my back. I've done enough rambling though. Thank you all again. But most importantly, have a wonderful rest of your day.